Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Rini, this is the Enchanted Planner, and today we are doing another Canva tutorial. Let's start up here with Create Design. We're going to come down here to Custom Size. Now, because I use 8.5 by 11 a lot, it's already in the list, but should you need to, you just need to put in your heights and widths, but change this from pixels to inches first. By default, it is in pixels, so just make sure it's in inches. All right, let's open a design. Now, before I get into the meat and potatoes of today's tutorial, I want to do a bit of an update to the other Canva boxes tutorial. Canva has since removed one of the elements that I was using to make the boxes, so I want to just make sure that everybody's, got the updated version if you're new to playing around with Canva. So like we did before, we're going into elements. We're going to go into lines and shapes. Now, before, there used to be just a square outline box. That doesn't exist anymore. It's no longer in the list. They've removed a bunch of things, but it's beside the point. So we're going to come up to shapes. Now, I did show this in the last tutorial, but I wasn't nearly as in depth with this one as I was with the other one. That's why we're going to update this a little bit. So we'll just do this really, really quickly. Now, we need to size it first. So dragging the corner, we need to get it to 1.5 inches wide. And then we're going to work with a 2.5 inch tall box, which is the standard Happy Planner size. Oops, that was not good. Let's undo that. Oh man, it undid everything. All right, let's go do that again. 1.5 by 1.5 isn't perfect, but not what I'm looking for right now. Let's go to 2.5. Now let's move our box. Okay. Coming up here, you'll see shape, the main color of the box, and then there's this, which is the border style. We do not want to play around in here. You can, but for sense and purpose today, we're going to work with a solid border, but I do want to change the border weight to about a 7. And then you're going to come over here and change the color to the inside to white. Now you have your simple, basic box. All right. So let's get into the meat and potatoes of what today's tutorial is. Hands down, by far, the most requested Canva tutorial I've gotten from you guys, and lots of it, I might add, is for monthly boxes. So that's what we are doing today. So because we already have a box on the design here, we're just going to size this up to 1.5 by 1.5 tall. Then we're going to duplicate it. And we're going to make this guy small because we're going to come up here and we're going to plunk him in the corner. I don't really like as much. Hold on. I'm going to zoom in. That would probably make this a little bit easier for both of us. Okay, so let's get him situated. About there is probably perfect. Now, we need to eliminate some things because we certainly can't print it this way, right? So we're going to duplicate this guy. We're going to bring him up top here. And we're going to bring him down. So he just covers this box. And then we're going to duplicate that one. And we're going to, just going to spin it around. And then we're going to do the same thing down here. We're going to line it up with the edge of the box. That should do it, actually. And then we're going to make these borders white. Voila, you have a monthly box. Now, in order to duplicate this, baby, we have to highlight all of the letters. So again, using your mouse, you're going to highlight all the letters. And we're going to come up here to the 3 dots and we're going to group them. And then we're going to duplicate it. Now, see what's happening. Because the boxes are still there, even though we cannot see them, we need to be careful when we lay out the duplicates. And then again, you're going to copy the whole thing, duplicate it, and then lay it out. Now, let's talk color. We want to change the color on this. We have a couple of options. We can come up here to the color. And we can either select something that's already in the list, or we can type something in the top, which is like blue. And select something that way. Oops, don't do that. Make sure you're on the border color before you go doing that. And then it'll show all of the colors that are available. Or we can come over here to the plus sign and we can mess around with hex codes, or we can use the eyedropper to select a color from a design we're already working in. Let's start with hex codes. This is something I did not cover in the last tutorial, but we're going to come over to a website called htmlcolorcodes.com. And they have a variety, actually there's quite a bit on this site, but they have a bunch of stuff that you can select colors from and get the actual hex codes. Up here in this bar, it will display the last 6 colors you have looked at. So in case you wanted to find a color and you couldn't remember which one it was on the list, it will display in here so long as it was one of the last 6. So as you see, like if you click on them, it'll change up here, right, as you go. We're going to work with that aqua color because we're going to show you how to do something else. So we're going to come up here and we're going to copy that hex code, come back to the Canva design, plunk it in the box, and bam, we got a box color. Now we need to change the color on this little guy though. So again, up to the border color, and because we've already used it, it's right there in the list. And that's the first way to make monthly boxes. Now, let's zoom out a little bit, and I'm going to show you the second way to make them. I'm just going to move these guys down and out of the way. Oh, one more thing before we go too crazy. So let's say you wanted to coordinate your boxes to something you've already created. Let's throw these on here. So say we've got these wonderful berries and you wanted to make boxes that match them, right? You can simply select color by coming up here, going back, make sure you're on the border color, going back to add new color, hitting the eyedropper, and then taking the eyedropper over and finding the color that you want to work with. And then again, just making sure you change both sections. Now you have a box that is perfectly color coordinated with the item that you want to work with. So let's get rid of that and let's make our second attempt. Not second attempt, but it's the second way to do these. Now these are a little convoluted and a little bit more, they're quite a bit more involved than just making regular boxes, but it's the only way that I have found in Canva to make them. I'm not sure if there's an easier way or if there's another way, but this is the way that I've figured out how to do them. So I'm happy to share with y'all. Let's duplicate this guy. We'll bring him up here. Now I'm going to unlayer these or ungroup them because I actually want to get rid of all of our little friends here and go back to our same basic box. The other way to do this is to bring the line across the box, which means we are back in lines and shapes, and we're just going to grab one of these guys. Now, the first thing we need to do is change the line height to match the box border height. So if you come up here, you'll see line style, and you can adjust the weight on this, and now they match. Now, we're just going to make this guy smaller. And you see the numbers that pop up. So right now it says that I'm at 0 degrees. If I move it down, it says I'm at -7 or 15 degrees, what have you. So you just keep that in mind when you're moving things around. Now I am going to use the rotate tool to move this guy up here because I want to move him across the corner of my box. And I'm going to zoom in a little bit, and we're going to close that drawer because we don't really need it right now. And I'm just going to try and drag this all within the box. So right now, I'm going to group those two together. We have the basics of another monthly box, but we again need to eliminate this section here. So by ungrouping those guys, get rid of that guy. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to get rid of the line, not the whole thing. We're going to make this guy small like we did on the other one. And we're going to rotate him to about 45 degrees. I find works really well, 40 to 45 degrees. But you're going to match it up so it lines up with your line across the box. And then just sort of slide it into place a bit. And then again, we're going to make this guy as small as we can get away with without impeding on making it so the other stuff sticks out, because what we need to do now is we need to cover it up, or we need to change the border color to white. And voila, but see what we've got there. So we need to just fix this a little bit by dragging it. Now, perfect. Now we've got another monthly box. Same thing. You need to highlight all of it and group them together if you want to be able to duplicate it. And then again, see, the box still exists. It's just not visible. Now, if we want to change the colors on this, of course, it's the same process. We want to come over here, and then we actually have to go and make sure that we click on the line to make sure that we can change it as well. There you go. See? Not too bad. It's not too bad. But yeah, that's the way I have figured out how to make monthly boxes in Canva, because they don't actually have these shapes in there. So I had to improvise. I will leave a link in the description for the original tutorial, as well as the website and the other information that you guys will need to know. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you have any questions, drop them down below. I'm just going to finish this off with actually showing you how to download and pick up your boxes. So we're going to here to the share button, hit the download button, and on here we need to change this from PNG to PDF. And then we're going to download it, save it to our computer, and then go to your, nope, that's the wrong document. I was messing around in here earlier. I guess maybe I've got to, now there it is. And there are our boxes. Pretty easy, you guys. Not too shabby. Oh, these ones are a bit rough. I should have probably fixed those a tiny bit, but you get the general idea, and play around with them because it's a lot of fun. And now you can make monthly boxes to your heart's content. Thanks so much for watching. If you're new to the channel, drop us a comment down below, letting us know you're new so we can formally welcome you to our wonderful community. Make sure you're subscribed and you have the notification bell turned on so you don't miss an upload, because there are more videos coming in this Canva tutorial series. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Ciao.